Hey guys, it's your best fight friends. I'm Kelsey. That's Rachel.
Today we're going to talk about Justin Gaethje.
You mean Batman?
We'll explain that. Right?
Batfleck Gaethje? You mean Rachel?
He's interviewed via ESPN. You know,
Brett
somebody.
Okamoto.
Okay, and check out these quotes. This is Justin Gaethje. I know I'm going to see his blood. I want him to see his blood, and I want to see his reaction. So this is Justin Gaethje talking about his upcoming fight.
UFC 254, Khabib Nurmagomedov. This is for the Undisputed Championship at lightweight. Really, really intriguing fight. Justin Gaethje wants to see Khabib see Khabib's
his own blood.
He was like, this is very close to, I would say, like I said, Batman versus Superman movie, where he's like, tell me.
Do you even bleed?
Do you bleed? And Superman's like, what? Because that's a weird thing to say. And then he's like, you will. Or it's also very close to Face Off, the movie Face Off starring Nicolas Cage. He's like, I want to take his face off. I want to take his blood off. Like, it's very, like, villainy, weirdo.
The weirdness of it. And, you know, at first,
it's weird.
Like, I saw the first quote, and I was like, okay, like, it's weird. But, you know, sometimes people just say things, and, like, you know, maybe this was taken out of context. Maybe he just, like, switched some words around and said things in kind of a funny way.
No, this is his thought pattern.
Then he goes on, I think he is crazy and loves competition, but he isn't quite as crazy as me.
Yeah.
I have to agree now, Gaethje. He also hasn't seen his blood many times, I'm sure.
How can you be sure?
Like, his style of fighting is not something where you are looking for blood. I bet that doesn't even cross his mind that he will see his own blood.
What?
That has never been a factor for him.
He's like, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a wild, I mean, I can see how...
So this is setting up. Like, this is a picture it painted in my mind. And I have to say thank you to Justin Gaethje
for here's Gaethje!
Painting this picture. Here's the picture it painted in my mind. Is them in the octagon, right? And then Gaethje causes Khabib to bleed in some way. And, like, Khabib, like, in Khabib's mind, like, the whole world stands still. And he looks down, and he sees his own blood. And he's just, like, shocked. Like, he doesn't know what to do.
And then, like, a single tear of blood comes out. He's like, oh.
Like, he's like, what is this? It would be like if I walked outside and saw the sun was purple or something. Like, it would just be, like, my whole world would be like, what? If I saw, you know, if I dropped an apple and it went up, I'd be like, what? Like, it's just crazy. That's how Gaethje's acting about Khabib seeing his own blood.
We'll continue our dream sequence. In the dream sequence, once he's like, oh, and the single blood, then all of a sudden he's hit with, like, a bro crick right to the face. By the Scottish psychopath! Justin Gaethje, and then Gaethje covers him for the 1, 2, 3.
Not gonna claim
everybody's like, what? What is this? 1, 2, 3. Listen,
all right.
It's wild. I love Justin Gaethje. I love the way he fights. He's just the kind of dude that just says wild stuff. And I like it.
Wild.
I like it.
Like, it went further. And
he's like, what? He's like, why so serious? I'm like, whoa.
Here's the other thing that I like.
Gaethje.
Is that when I see Justin Gaethje has the appearance of somebody that I might have went to high school with. I see, like, here's a story I make up. I don't really follow Justin Gaethje. I don't know him that well. But, like, he might be somebody who, you know, had a barbed wire, like, tattoo. He might go out mudding on the weekends. He drives, like, an old, like, you know, truck. Like, these are things that I make up about Justin Gaethje.
Based on nothing but his appearance and act?
Just kind of, yeah, like his appearance, the, like, fair skin, like his reddish hair, I think. Like, you know, that kind of, yeah. I'm judging a book by its cover. And
we're taught not to do that, Rachel.
We are taught not to do that.
What if I were to tell you that Justin Gaethje's primary interest was astronomy and mathematics?
Well, that'd be fine. Then I'd have a new, like, thing about Justin Gaethje.
I don't really know that.
I think it's important that we all just admit that we make, like, we make up stories.
I don't.
It's whether or not I'm attached to those stories is what's important. I'm not attached to it. Here's what I'm saying, is that this is a story I made up about Justin Gaethje, but then, like, he turns around and does this super weird, like, this is weird, like, you know, to really, like, go all in on, like, doubling down on, like, No, do you get it? I want to see Khabib see his own blood.
I don't just want to see the blood. I want to see him see his blood.
And Khabib's not going to know what to do when he sees his own blood. That's totally weird. Like, that's weird.
I don't know. I feel like
I've never
UFC
said that or thought that about
right,
anybody
but
in my life.
You're not a UFC fighter, and I think sometimes UFC fighters
are cut from a different cloth.
Well, they're trying to promote the fight, and so they end up talking more about saying
I've seen a lot
weird
of
stuff that other
promote
people
things.
don't say, and then sometimes you might end up saying some different kind of stuff. That's all I'm saying.
I've seen a lot of fighters
it's awesome. Just like I think
fights,
Justin Gaethje is awesome.
And I don't always. This wouldn't attract my attention if I heard this all the time.
Yeah,
I think it's so weird is because it doesn't happen all the time. This is totally weird.
I could see Justin Gaethje and Khabib getting in a face-off situation where they somehow get their faces transposed onto each other, but then also for some reason their bodies look exactly the same, and then of course in this instance they also fight exactly the same as the other person.
Yeah.
So that might be really the only way that Khabib catches that loss. I
don't really see those two. I see more like Gaethje and Ferguson in a face-off situation.
Why Ferguson?
Well, he's just
You
weird.
already beat Ferguson. Oh, because
yeah. I mean, they don't have the
come on, Rachel.
You know, the fight in the foreseeable future to promote. But I'm just saying they're both interesting folk.
Yeah, they're unique, special individuals who are great at what they do. And we love them! But tell me, I would like to know, Gaethje, have you seen your own blood? Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. What's that from? That's from...
what is that from?
Like, I think it's something. It's Ben Stiller and something. He's like, nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
Oh, is it the mysterious, you know?
Maybe.
That really old movie?
Anyway, we're old people. If you're younger than us, you probably don't know what we're talking about. I don't even know what we're talking about. That's
Do you
old
know who Ben Stiller is?
I need to get one of those little
horns
where I'm like,
Hey, I don't know how to transition to tell
Well, let me just one more anecdote about how old I am. I talk to UFC fighters sometimes for my job to interview them, and they're like, "Oh, is this just by phone?" And I'm like,
"Just by phone."
You know, because they're all used to talking to people on video, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I pick up my phone and I'm like, just like a little rotary phone. I'm like, ring, ring. I'm like, operator, connect me to a UFC fighter. See? I pick up like a little thing, and they're like, "What is this?"
I feel like you might be alienating our subscribers.
Yeah, they're like, we have no idea what I'm talking about.
Hey, do you feel alienated? Go ahead and subscribe anyway. And you can, turn into feeling alienated like anytime you want.
That'd be a good
Just watch our videos.
Name for our podcast.
The Alienator.
The Alienated. We're like...
All right. Why would it be a good name for our podcast?
I don't know.
Like you're going to just change? Like we're going to now start a new podcast?